That's nice. I'm a little early. I'm a little cold, actually. We turned on the heating there, but it's going to take a minute to warm up. I'm just wondering what have I got back there I could put on. I could put on this. I still haven't woven in the ends on it, actually. Good. Hello. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening. Good time zone. Happy time zone to whatever you're having yourself. There's 2 people watching. Who's that? Who are you? Who's watching? Come and join. Now, this is a hand spun jumper, actually, from 2 years ago. This was my Fluff to Stuff spin from 2019. Long time ago now. And I'm still not finished because the ends aren't woven in. Oh, lovely. Hi, Alison. How are you? How are you? So I've decided to do a little bit of weaving today. Now, I had such a busy Sunday. I had such a busy weekend, actually. I'm after washing my hair because I went swimming in a swimming pool. So my lovely curls, I took a picture of them for the Instagram, for the gram. Hello from Payson, Arizona. Hi from New Zealand. Good morning. I'm going to go for good morning on that one. Yeah, we went to a wedding, my cousin's wedding, yesterday, and I'm still a bit like hungover from it. But it was in Kilkenny and it was absolutely beautiful. Kilkenny is a beautiful town. Hi from Wales. Hi, Lisa. And hi from the Netherlands. Hi, Natasha. Natasha. Yeah, that's it. Oh, gorgeous. We've got a proper... Hello from Holland. Hello, hello. Oh, a couple of 2 Netherlandians from the lowlands. Is that an okay thing to say? I just want to make sure that that's okay. Okay, let me see. No, that might not be okay when I switch the cameras around. Hi from Germany. Hello. How are you? How are you getting on? Weren't you a bit hungover? I've been to 2 weddings. Every weekend is like, this is the last of it now. There was 2 weekends back to back with 2 weddings each, one from one side and one from the other. So yes, it is your blow sleep. I knew that. So yes, I am hungover from my second wedding. All the COVID weddings, you see, they're all coming together now. But it was absolutely beautiful. I went to Kilkenny this time. Beautiful. Really, really cool little, well, it was a big hotel, but you wouldn't know because it's right in the centre of the street. And it had loads of like little bars that were all connected. It was kind of astounding, this little bar. Langton's, I think. Hi, Patricia. How are you? So yeah, so it was about a 2-hour drive back, and then I went swimming. Well, we had a little nap, a little hungover nap, and then I went swimming because I said I would. So that's good. It's a bit of physio for my lovely hip. So yeah, but I feel really good now. It's kind of like a yoga, kind of like an aquarobics class. Oh, it was so nice to be in water as well. For those who don't know me, hello, welcome to Babbles Travelling Yarns, and this is a series of live events where I take one set of Rolags and I take it through the full journey from making Rolags, then into spinning the Rolags into a 2-ply, which I have here, and I have them set up in a ready to weave. So that's the next step in our journey. And our plan is to weave a little tapestry with this. Now, I was going to set it up, and then I was like, do you know what? This would actually be a great thing for people to see if they're beginner weavers, because this is actually a beginner weaving frame that I got. And I bought this in France. So I'm gonna That's what I'm gonna go through today. You're visiting me in my house in Limerick in Ireland, and it has been an absolutely stunning weekend. Beautiful weather. Goodness, we sat outside and had coffee outside in March. So yeah, we're having really, really lovely weather. And yeah, but it doesn't mean that I washed this. I didn't wash it. I literally just took it straight from the spindle just there before. Oops. But I'll wash the tapestry after. Be grand. Be grand. I hope so. I hope it'll be grand. Nah, it'll be grand. So yeah, this is it's a 2-ply gradient. So if you haven't seen these before, you can watch this with me live, or you can go back, you can stop, because this will be on my channel afterwards. You can stop and go back to the first one, which was blend Rolags with me, or something like that. And you can see how I made 2 Rolags with the same sort of colours, and then I spun them in a second series, and this is the third in a series of 3. So I'm quite liking these lives. What do you think? Are you enjoying them? Are you learning? Are you getting much from them? Are they giving you some sort of value? Please let me know. So, because I have to warp the loom, I do want to get started. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to flip the camera. I'll just turn it up. Hello, sunny Edmonton, +2 today. Ooh, lovely. I think we were in 15s, so very nice. I can't remember what we had today, actually. So I'm just going to flip this. There we go. Now, I'm just going to increase the height on that. Whoopsie. Oh, I can't really see what's going on. But you can see. All right. You're finding them good, Patricia? Ah, that's great. That is good. I suppose you can ask me questions as we go. So you're loving the lives. Oh, thanks, Martha. Okay, so this is the first loom that I ever bought. I don't have the kit name because it's gone. I threw out the box a billion years ago. But it's a very simple frame type loom. And this is the heddle. And as you can see, half of the threads have a cut that goes this way. Hang on. The cut goes this way, like a 45-degree angle, and then half of them go the other way. So you can see you've got half of them, all of them, and then half of them the opposite side. Does that make sense? So technically, see if you can see through these. There's one heddle. Then you've got a neutral heddle where you can see through all of them. And then you've got your third heddle there. So you've kind of got two sheds. You'll have 2 sheds and then a neutral space. You're happy to hang out on the live. Good distraction from work. Oh, yeah, tell me about it. I don't want to think about work tomorrow either. So, but for now, we're not going to put this in. We'll put that in afterwards. I think, geez, I cannot remember how to do this now. So we'll be learning together. So I'm using what I want is a tapestry, okay? So a tapestry is slightly different to the other weaving that I've done, which has just been plain weave. So you see equally the warp, which goes this way, and you see the weft equally. So often they're the same type of yarn, so they'd be both fingering weight. But I want to get a weft facing yarn, so I want the warp to be thinner than the weft. So this is what I'm going to be getting. So this is my this is a cotton, just a real simple, easy, cheap cotton from, oh, I don't even know where, but I have loads of it. So it's really, really good for a weft, because it is, are the cat's trying to get in? Yeah, because it is very strong. It has a number of plies and it's quite narrow. Did you hear that sound? Very strong. There's no chance of it breaking or anything like that because I'm going to be tamping down very hard. Yeah, hopefully, if it works out. So I'm not sure what size tapestry I'm going to have, so I'm going to just fill the whole thing out. and see. I probably won't fill it out. I'll probably go in 5 or something like that. So I'm just going to tie it off here to start. Oh yes, I just want to take you through this piece here. So if you see, these are actually just kind of hooks. They're actually hooks, so it'll go around and catch. And they're slightly offset, I believe. So I'm just going to tie it around, hither, tither, and yon. Oh, the cats are in the box. So I just tied it off twice, kind of an easy knot, and then I'm just going to cut that tail so it's not in the way. And then I'm basically just going to go around and back. Oh, sorry for the banging. So they're just going to hook. They're just as simple as that, really. And I'm just going to try and keep my tension consistent. So I'm actually just going to drop that in the ground. I'm going to keep it on my lap, maybe. I'm just going to try and keep it as consistent as possible. And you can tighten it afterwards on this loom, because you can see there's little wing nuts there, and you can literally turn this. You can turn it away. You can turn this one too. So it's quite a nice little piece of kit. I think I bought it in one of them French. They're kind of like a oh, what's it called? I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Am I doing this wrong? I feel like there should be 2. I feel like I am. Hang on. Because when you put it across, you've got double the threads here than here. Although, no, I'm sorry. Let's learn together that we need to do that another way. Hi from Illinois. Hello. So I think, yes, because I just took a warp off, the first warp I ever put on, and it was slightly different to this. So what I'm going to do is can't remember. I actually cannot remember how to do this. And then I think, is it like that? And then we just do that. I think that might be it. Let me just check. Yeah, that feels a bit better actually. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. A little bit of problem solving there. I think I did it off the box the last time and then I instantly threw out the box. But sure, look. So if you see, I'm putting it twice through every hole here. And that gives me a nice stable thing. Because I think it needs to be that way because that's the only heddle I have. That's the only heddle I have. So I think it'll be grand. Sure, we'll have a little adventure together. This whole thing has been actually really interesting because we have been learning to get, well, I have been figuring it out as I go along. And I suppose that's good to kind of see as well, like that we don't always know what we're doing, if you know what I mean. We just kind of, a lot of this is trial and error and a lot of error, but like that's part of it for me. I really enjoy that part of it. James made a delicious roast and loads of gravy. So I always come on here when I'm literally just after eating. So I'm like letting it settle. Yeah, sorry. These move as well. So I want to keep them straight and flat if I can. Oh, just make sure I don't skip one. Do you know what would be nice if I had a little clamp here on the table? If you can see that. I want a little clamp there. But it's downstairs, my clamp. So I will just clamp it with my hand. this to stop it moving around. Once I have this ready to go, then we're kind of ready and set up to weave. So it just takes a little minute to do. And because I'm not doing a big long warp, I'm literally just doing a tapestry, just the size of this picture frame. It's probably going to be much smaller, to be honest, because I don't know if I have that much yarn, but I have enough. So we'll see. We'll do another little experiment. The thing about weaving is it's incredibly easy to unweave. So you can experiment and take it all out and start again and do all of that sort of jazz. So we'll see if I need to do that. It's like having a sketchbook. This series of lives is kind of like having a sketchbook on my little thought processes and creative endeavors. So that's kind of nice. So I think this is just called like simple weaving loom or something like that. I managed to get quite a long warp on it for the size of it, because I actually warped it like a rigid head loom when I first got it, in which I had it looped and then I looped it against a doorknob or something, and then I rolled it. I rolled one of these like a bar. Just gonna cut that. Oh, nice, look at that. There was a little knot there and I managed to finish just before that became an issue. So that is lovely. Now let me just tie that off real tight. I just like a little attention there just to see how good I can get it. Do not subscribe. Well, I might just try another one just for safety. And I'm just doing an overhand double, triple knot. Okay, so here we have our loom. And what I like to do, I like to pop the loom at a bit of an angle. So pop a little book or something underneath it. Oh, sorry, there's lots of shite on the table now. Sorry about that. Here we go. Can you see that? How's that looking? So how long did that take? That took me about 10 minutes, 7 minutes. Not long to work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pop this underneath and fix all of the threads into the heddles. Now this feels a bit tight to me, so I'm actually going to so I need it a bit tight, but I also need to be able to maneuver it. Whoop, sorry. I could have done this with it in the right place, but I didn't. So that's the way of it. All right, so I'm just going to do a little bit of a hoop. There we go. It sat in there. Okay. So I think that's good. Let's see how we go. How does that look? Look pulled in? Doesn't look too pulled in. But you do want to get this right. So I'm just going to bring it over a tiny bit. So they're all basically, all these threads are going to sit in to a groove somewhere, wherever that groove is. But they cannot be crisscrossing. There we go. I feel like I'm playing the harp. It would have been smarter to do this when it was on there, but it's actually quite tricky because this moves around quite a lot. So okay. So how was your weeks? Have you been here before? I'm kind of curious as to people. Are you coming back every week or are you new? Do tell me. Kind of curious as to I'm interesting enough to, to bring people back. I think this is fun because I'm actually doing something. We did lots of, so we're moving into a new house and we did lots of exciting signing of contracts, not contracts, but like the mortgage stuff on Friday, which was very exciting. I don't know why, but everything seems to fall on a Friday. All right, so, oh, there's a twist here. So I'm just gonna switch these over. There we go. That looks good, that looks good. Okay, greetings from Australia, lovely. I think I put it on a little bit later, so Australians are a little bit easier to catch it. Dumb question, Grace. How does it affect the washing and drape when the warp is cotton and weft is wool? So this is going to be it's a great question, Laura. It's not a dumb question at all. This is going to be a tapestry. She's not going to be worn, so it doesn't matter at all. It's an adorable little loom. It's adorable, isn't it? It is so, so, so cute. I love it. I want a frame loom so bad. You can actually make one out of, literally, you can make one out of a picture frame. You don't have to have all this fanciness. You get a picture frame and you can literally just nail in nails at the top and nails at the bottom, and you just go round and round, and then you can actually make a string heddle where you literally, or you can just literally pick up sticks and pick up, and or you can just weave along yourself, you know. It's actually super easy to make and super cheap. Hi, how's your sciatica? Yours is okay. Yeah, mine is actually, it's okay. I just need to do my exercise, Linda. I'm a curse. I'm an actual curse. Chaotic Numbers, you've been here since you started this series. So fun and inspiring. It is, isn't it? You've watched the series too. Oh, thanks, Alison. This is your third or fourth live in a row. Oh, fantastic. Well done. You caught most of them and watched what I missed. Oh, that's great. Oh, hello, Esther. How are you? From Tralee. That's not too far away. You don't have plans to do this yourself, but totally enjoyed watching every step. It's fun, isn't it? Like, even if you just want to know how it works, you know? I mean, I've watched so many videos of like stupid things, canning. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm never going to do it, but like, wow. So I just want to show you this. I don't know if you can see it, but maybe if I turn it this way. So all the threads are kind of aligned when I put it like this, right? But when I turn it away, half the threads drop and you get a tiny, tiny shed. You see the tiny, tiny thread? Tiny shed. And then when you turn it the other way, you get a shed the other way. So this is the space. Sorry, I'm trying to find out where the freaking camera is. There it is. So this is the space that I'm going to try and go through. The only issue is this is quite thick. So do you know what? Let's just see how we go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this up a tiny bit, just to give me a little bit of space. And I should have actually gotten it. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tap it down with a knitting needle. I have a comb, which would be handy if I thought of it, but I didn't bring it. So there we go. So, right, what I'm going to do to start, I wonder, should I do a little starter? Nah, fuck it. There's no space. So we'll start turning it away. Now these are very carefully balanced, so I might need to reposition them quite a lot. So I've got my shed anyway, so I'm gonna try. This will get easier as we go on, but this is the first. This is called a pick or a throw. Do you know? That's pretty good. Well done, everybody. Well done. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull it down myself to about here. And you know what? And then I'm just going to tie the knots. I wonder what I'll be a bit here instead. So we'll have a go and we'll see. So that was away, wasn't it? So now I need to turn it back towards myself. Can you see that? Sorry, yeah, you can. So now the yoke that came with this is actually a bit thinner than this, but it's just whatever I picked out, to be honest. And then just to weave in this end, I'm actually just gonna tuck it back in, like over, under, over, under, over, under. And I have a little guide to show me now, so there we go. Okay, so to make sure that this stays straight, I hold this so that it's nice and straight across, and I hold the thread so it's not pulling in or pulling out. I'm going to hold it straight, and actually I just need to reassess because I did that. So then you just pull up, and I'm going to pull down like that. And then you can either use your handies. Yeah, I'm just going to use my hands. So what I want is a very tight warp thread here. So I don't really want too much of the white to show through. I might not be able to do that now. It might just not work. But sure, look, we'll see. Maybe I should have used a thinner yarn. We'll see. So again, I'm just going to hold it out to the edge. Do you know what? I wonder, should I pull it in a little bit and make it like a nice little tight? I might do that. What am I? Yeah, that's actually, I think that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you do when you're making a belt. Let me just try it and see. I'll get a nice tight edge on it anyway. Maybe not. So this is when you'd have a nice little beater. I have a comb downstairs. I should have brought that up. So you see the way I'm kind of tipping up there? I don't know if you can see, but I've got a line underneath that's showing me that I'm tipping it up a tiny bit. So I'm just going to drag that down a little bit. Sorry, excuse me, I'm in the burping. Okay. Are you able to see that, guys? Do you want me to zoom in? Good evening. Start about 5:30 a.m. here. Have to be woke by wee child. Oh, sure, look. Those wee children. Wee childrens. Alright. I'm going to bring it towards myself and we'll see how we get on. Oh no. My singing might be so good that the Indiana Jones movie might claim a copyright. Sorry, I'm moving a couple of these little loud bits out of the way. You're only 1 hour before, Cecilia. Hi. You can see it well. Okay, thanks, Martha. All right. Let's see how we go. Why is that moving in there? I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving any wide gaps or anything. So I haven't really done this before. Do you know, I think we'll have quite a big yoke. So this is actually not the ground, this is the sky. So this is the deep blue section. If you remember how we spun it. So this is the sky and I'm going to be moving down to the earth. I actually forgot how much how much the weaving doesn't use your yarn. It actually doesn't use much at all. So Do you know what I just realised? The pulling in on the edges actually shows the warp more. Look at that. Can you see that? You can see the warp more than on the wide bits here. Should I start again? Yeah, I'm just going to just really quickly take it out. So this is how you unweave something. And then I'll use up more yarn actually. Smart, smart, smart. So I'm just literally poking this little loop at the end here. Just getting a little bit of space for my fingers and just pulling it out. Ooh, sorry, there's a glass of water over there. Cause she's still hung over this girl. She's still hung over this girl. Oh, it's so nice to get back to weddings though. Although I'm such a judgmental person now. You're like, well, come here to my wedding. I'm that annoying person now. But luckily, my wedding was the first one in so long that it felt like no one had been to a wedding before. So everyone's just like, oh, it's so nice to be back. So that was really nice. I didn't feel any pressure. It was really, really, really nice. Because I think that's what I felt the pressure most with. Now, yeah. So now I'm going to try and keep this width quite wide, okay? Just want to see here. You've gotten ridiculously inspired. You're waiting for a package from Ashford. Ah, Cecilia, you gas. I knew it. Ooh, well done, Norway. Whatever happened there. Hello from Sands, Norway. 8 a.m. start in New Zealand, very civilised. Oh, very good. Start of the working day for me. Right. Okay. Let's get back on track. Back on track. Okay. And I might just bring it down a tiny bit more. You know. Because for clothing, you do need a tight edge here. You do need a nice tight selvage. But for weaving and tapestries, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter. Now I just want to start off on a good, nice basis there. Now I could have done. I don't think I'm going to do a. I don't think I'm going to do a hem stitch here. I think I'm going to tie off the knots down here instead. Just because I could probably do a hem stitch. Nah, be grand. Life's too short for hem stitching where you don't want to. No. So I just want to make sure that I'm good there. And there's one that's after hopping over. So we'll just put that back where you belong. There we go. So we're at 33 minutes. I'm only starting to weave again properly. Whoops. Sure, look, be grand. You'll understand how it works. We might keep going. Or we might have it next week. Whatever happens, happens. I normally do these on a speed. This one is a little trickier as well because you've got a smaller shed, so it is actually trickier to do. I'm making excuses now. But you got to see the warping up, which I think is kind of the mystery, you know. It's the bit that people get confused by the most, is the warping. So at least that's good that you got to see that. And yeah. Go back here now. Here we go. I'm thinking of, did I tell you before actually, I'm thinking of renting the 4-shaft loom from the Guild, from the Irish Guild of Weavers, Spinners and Dyers, and possibly, I don't know whether to do the floor one or the tabletop one, because I don't know how much room I'm going to have in the new house for crafty bits. There's probably not going to be much room, to be honest, in it. There's probably not going to be much furniture in it, to be honest, from the start. So maybe it'll be grand if I get the floor one. You know, I can just pop it into the sitting room, because literally I think we'll have maybe a couch and that's it, a TV stand. So there will be space like in a corner or something. Oh, feck it anyway. Didn't I do that wrong? I should have put it, because it's gonna, see, it's pulling out. Oops. That's all right. So yeah, if we get a tabletop loom, I think I'm gonna have a load of space, because I do want to make a quilt as well, and on the kitchen table, and I don't think I will have space in the kitchen, so I probably will get the floor loom and use those pedals, which would be really cool to figure out how to do that. And there's much of a muchness really. They're both pieces of a big kit, and probably not much in the price of the rent either. I think it's like €45 for the month, something like that. I don't even know if it's that price. They'd probably be delighted not to have it in their house as being stored. I'm like, I'll mind it, it's fine. Yeah, I'll see, because I really want to make larger pieces, and I really want to give twill another crack, because I did twill on my rigid head loom and it was a pain in the hole, I have to say. And it was a lot smaller. I got because twill pulls in a lot more than plain weave, which is what I'm doing here. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the bottom. But with a loom, like a floor loom, it's a lot easier, because you just pull your different pedals, step on your different pedals, and it'll work away like. Oh, I can see the pink coming through now, not in the weaving, but in the, oops, sorry, in the, oops, sorry, don't want to pull that so much. When you're weaving as well, you want to leave a bump and then tap it down rather than pulling it straight across, because the woven fabric does need a bit of like take up. It's called take up, but it's basically a bit of slack, because what you're doing is you're putting it up and down and up and down and up and down, and over all of those it does take up a little bit more yarn than you think. What I should have done is break this up, break the threads up, but I also didn't want to. I was too lazy to do that. So you see, I've left a little bubble. Now you can leave a little angle as well, but I've just left a little bubble. It's just a bit easier on the fingers if I do the bubble technique. Whereas if I had a heddle to tap it down, I could leave it across like that, and that would be fine. Just check, yeah. It is getting a bit easier as this gets smaller, which is nice. So yeah, I was thinking of making a few little picture frames to do a class, you know, a basic weaving class, just to understand how it works, and maybe do a few little tapestry kind of techniques, which are kind of cute. I want to make a gallery wall in my new house, and I'd love to frame this piece and put it up. I really want, now can I ask you a question, right? Because I think this is a fad, but it's also a fad I'm obsessed with. It's the navy wall with gold, like deep blue navy wall with gold frames. I am obsessed with that idea. I love it a lot. And our couch that we are going to rob from this place is a really old kind of brown leather couch. If you're following me on Instagram, you know it well. And I think the browns go really nicely with it if you have a really strong navy blue kind of off to offset it. It looks really, really nice, but it's absolutely 100% a fad. Is it very hard to paint over the old navy when you get sick of it? I think it probably is. Sure. I think I'd love it in my sitting room, because the sitting room is north facing anyway. It's going to be a dark room. You might as well make it cozy. Do you know what I mean? If it's going to be dark, you might as well make it cozy. So I'm thinking of doing that. I think it'll be real cute. I'm just going to check the comments just to see. Package from Ashford. There we go. You decided to get the 70 centimetre 28-inch litres loom. Oh, and the E-Spinner 3. Ooh! Gorgeous! Fantastic. Grace, that's fantastic that the Guild both looks to rent. I've borrowed an old table loom from a friend, but I've got to do some maintenance on it first. Yeah, Christine, that can be a little bit... Yeah, deep blue and gold like the night. Like, it's all over Pinterest. I love the idea. I love it so much. But, what's happening here? Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Oh, yeah. So turn it towards myself from the left and away from myself for the right. Yeah, I really like it. And you know what? Feck it. If I get sick of it, I'll paint over it again. But I just really love this kind of strong, dark sitting room. I have to get James on board with it. That's the only thing. And I'm like, well, what do you want? He's like, no, I don't know. Just not that. And I'm like, well, what about this then instead? Like, what do you want? And he likes like creamy colours. And I'm like, oh, creamy colours. It's just, I just feel like cream is going to look really cold in that room because it's so north facing and dark. I know it would brighten up the space and make the space look bigger, but also it's a sitting room. It doesn't need to look bigger. You know what I mean? It's a cozy space. So I don't know. Like, I definitely go light and bright in the kitchen because that's south facing, and I feel like that space needs to look a bit bigger because it is a little bit of a smaller space. So I'm just not sure. I was thinking about getting an interior designer, but then I was like, I can't afford an interior designer. So maybe I won't do that. Yeah, I think I need a bit more floof. I need a bit more take up because it's taking me just to get through this blue. And then away from me, from the right. Heating's coming on again. I'd love a cup of tea now. James is already in bed. Damn. Should I get him out of bed to make me a cup of tea? He's not watching this. He's bored to tears. He's going through Friends at the moment, and I'm like, nothing on earth could make me go through Friends again. I was traumatized enough when I was a teenager. And you go back at it and you're just there going, oh my God, this program is actually awful. And I remember watching, I can't remember, I was watching Friends or something. And I was going to New York. I was coming back from New York or something. And on the plane, there was a guy sitting beside me. And he was like, oh, have you been to New York before? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh, yeah. So I bet you're expecting Friends or something, right? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm expecting, to be honest. But I suppose that's the only thing I had. And he was like, oh, God, just wait and see. It's nothing like it. Like, the fact that you're in New York and there's not a single black person living in the whole place. Like there are no black people in Friends New York. And I was like, oh my God, you're so right. There's none, if you think about it. And then you arrive in New York and you're like, geez, there's loads of people around, like every single colour under the sun. You're like, what the hell was that show all about? Ross is real creepy. If you take him out of context, if you take him even in context, you're like, oh God. Sure, that was the 90s, isn't it? We're growing, we're learning, and we're growing. We're realising. But it had to, like, he wasn't a black man, he was a white man that told me this sort of thing. And I was like, it was like my first realisation that, like, the media was, in America, was definitely not showing the actual real life of America. And I was like, oh. Not that Ireland had real life either, do you know, but I think it just hit home for me for the first time. And you watch all these cop shows and they're so work oriented and gun oriented, and it's so funny. Like, they never take leave, and to take leave is a sign of weakness and blah blah blah. And you're there going, lads, God, you've just shot someone, go home. You've just been shot. What do you mean you're back in like 2 weeks later? I mean, like, I'm taking 6 months if I'm shot. But they're all like really proud of it, and they're like, no, we have to get this done. And you're like, do you know? Because yeah, it just doesn't feel right, you know. But like, you just accept it because you just watched 15 of them in a row. I'm talking Rizzoli and Isles, and oh, what a great show though. I mean, I just love Rizzoli and Isles, to be honest. I like the way this is coming out a lot more, actually. It's a little bit more textural at the top and less flat. I'm such a, that's all I've woven is this flat weave. But you know what, that's the stars in the night sky, isn't it? Oh. Oh, blue and golden matches. Better stop, Cecilia. Ochre for the wall, is it? See, actually, the house is actually painted in a lot of browns and kind of reds and deep reds, and I kind of want to get away from that. That's a very classic style in Ireland. It's a classic style of the 90s and the 2000s, and I just have no interest in going back there. So I kind of want to do something different. The house is already kind of an orangey ochre colour on the inside, in the sitting room and in the kitchen actually. And it has really dark kind of burgundy red tiles in the kitchen. And I'm kind of like, disgusting, paint it white immediately. It's just, you know, it's not mine, so therefore it's awful. No, it's not. It's a perfect, I actually don't have to do a thing to the house, according to the surveyor and my dad, who I trust. So they saw it and they were like, this is a beautiful little house. You actually could just move straight in. You don't have to do a thing. And I don't know, it just felt really nice when we went there, and I was just like, this is it now. This is what everyone's talking about, that the house feels good. And I can see myself doing different things to it, and yeah, it's just good, you know. I feel good about it, and that's all you need really sometimes. And the surveyor said it was okay. So he went in and around and did all the checks and the septic tank and everything, and they were all good. So thank God. I love the way this pink is shooting through. What do you guys think? Can you see that? Maybe if I turn off this kind of orangey overhead light. Sorry. Can you see that pink coming through there at the top? It's kind of nice. Maybe I'll just drop this down a tiny bit so you can see it. Hang on. Lefty loosey. Oops. I forgot about that. There you go. There you go. Not so far away now. It's better. So I'm leaving a lot of room here. So there's actually little loops in this, which hopefully will smush out. And you're really not seeing that much white anymore. Yes, yes, I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Oh, lads, I'm so excited. I'm actually going traveling again. I'm going to Barcelona on the 1st of April. And then we're going to Barcelona for 3 nights, and then we're going to Salou for 4 nights, and then we're flying home from Salou, which is about an hour or 2 hours south of Barcelona. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited just to be on a plane and going somewhere different that speaks a different language. I cannot wait. Your dining room is deep teal, it matches your dinnerware. I love that, Mary Wesley. I absolutely love that. Now, I love teal, but I feel like I've overdone it and James is sick of it. So I'm going to try for the deep navy. See if he likes it. Maybe I'll just paint it when he's at work. And be like, surprise! What do you think? I can paint it back. I think he will like it, you know, but I just have to convince him. Like, it's a boy colour, right? Oh, lads. Anyway, the house is bought on my money, so I can do whatever I want with it. This is coming up cute. Yeah, I'm loving it now. The colour changes are coming. Yes, thank you very much, my dear. Isn't that pretty? Oh, balls. Sorry. I'm sorry. What is happening here? How did I mess that up? Oh, it should be away from me. That's what happened there now. Oh, and I've got some fluffy bits coming up here. That's fun. Sorry now. Sorry now. Things are starting to get a bit sticky. I'm wondering, should I tighten it or loosen it? I don't know. That's better. There we go. Do you have any ideas, lads? Maybe if I tighten it. So to tighten, I'm just going to undo this wing nut. Both of them. Hopefully. There we go. And I'm just going to turn it to me slightly. Yeah, that's a lot tighter. Okay, so we'll see how we go with that now. Hopefully it'll stay in position a bit better. So, do you know what? Next time I might just make a string heddle and do it that way, because this yoke is actually kind of a waste of time, to be honest with you. Be brutally honest. It's a tiny bit of a waste of my time. Tightening's definitely helped on that side anyway. It's nice. That's so nice. Towards me for the left, away for the right. Do you know, I went up when I was on my honeymoon around Ireland. I've visited Donegal Weavers, and they are currently offering a year-long course in weaving, in commercial weaving. And I was like, could I give up radiography for a year and just do a weaving course? Absolutely I could, but also no, I couldn't. And there's a lot of people on it that are kind of older, they paid off their mortgage and they want to try something different. Or their kids have kind of finished school or whatever. You know, they don't have the big money outlays. But again, I'd say there's some options there for younger people as well, without kind of mortgages and things as well. But you know, when you have like these responsibilities, you can't really up sticks for a year. You get paid for it. Like you get paid, I think you get paid the dole for it. And then you get your accommodation, I think, as well, for fairly cheap. It's up in Donegal too, so the accommodation is cheap anyway, to be honest. But I was like, oh, and you'd learn how to use all the big machines, and just sounds interesting, you know. Sounds real interesting. And I'm like, maybe one day. But there's actually a lot of looms around Ireland which are just sitting in sheds, you know, not being used. So maybe I'll just learn myself. I've done everything else myself. But it's a really interesting idea. Win the lotto, that's exactly it. What about a muted teal colour? Bloop, 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 bloop. That's Mum did that, and it's nice, but kind of want to do something a little different. And Anya says, go for it. I did that so many times with my ex. He just kept saying no to all the colours suggested. Couldn't come up with a better idea, so I just painted it and he liked it every time. P.S. That's not the reason we're not together anymore. Yeah, I think they'll just like it. You know, I don't know. They have these ideas in their heads, and to be honest, anytime I give him any solution, his first answer is no, and then he'll realise that I was right, and I'm like, oh well, look at that, interesting. Me being right yet again. I'm terrible, aren't I? No, James is the best. He is the best boy. The bestest of boys. He did all the driving up and back from Kilkenny, and then he had a nap, big long nap, and he was so sound he didn't actually hear me leave to go swimming at all. I arrived back and he was like, where were you? And I was like, jeez, man, you were sleeping. Hard sleeps. So just want to make sure. So I'm getting a bit of whites through again here, but I think that's okay. I think it's okay. You want to make sure that you've enough enough slack on the shuttle to go through and not get caught and pull in your side, so you have a little bit to play with here. I'm real relaxed after my kind of aqua yoga thing, so I'm like, sorry if I'm not super high energy today. Yeah, win the lotto. Yeah, that's definitely one way to do it. I'm hoping it's not the only way. Oh, a bit of orange coming through here. I don't know if you can see that yet. Oh, this is going to be so nice. It's so nice already. 34 people. Hello, everybody. Hello, 34 people. Lovely to have you here. If you've just joined or if you're around, Chill Grace is lovely. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I'm very chill. It was lovely. The last bit, she gave us these floats and we just floated there, like in Shavasana, just lying back. And do you know when your ears, I know some people get freaked out when their ears are underwater, but I just love it because that sound, you feel like you're like in the womb or something. Oh, real nice. Yeah, that's beautiful. I really recommend looking for some, you know, a bit of yoga, a bit of something. And I'm doing yoga classes every Tuesday as well, which helps my hip quite a lot. And then I've got physio then a lot on Thursdays and stuff for my hip. But my physio has gone to South Africa actually. So she's gone for about 5 weeks, I think. 5 weeks or so. So I have to do it myself and I'm terrible. I'm such a bad exerciser. I am the worst, okay? Actually, that reminds me not to uncross my legs and to do a little bit of pelvic tilts while I'm here. I'll just do them sitting. And roll back my shoulders as well, because when I'm doing this I can kind of hunch over a tiny bit. But actually I'm just going to tie up my hair because I feel like it's in my face. Sorry. It is in my face. I'm trying to dry it. So I'm going to this swimming kind of yoga thing about every Sunday. So I'm like, when do I wash my hair? I try not to wash my hair too often because it gets really, really dry then. So I'm going to try and wash it like after the swimming. Sorry, this is very boring now for everybody, but yeah, I'm going to try and wash it after the swimming on Sundays and then see if I can go till Thursday without washing and then maybe wash on Thursday and then Sunday again. That sounds okay. I could probably do that. Just planning my week out now. Monday, just a normal day, I think. Have I got anything fancy? I really need to get started. I've got an essay due in about a month and I really need to get started on it. It's only 1,000 words, like, but I need to get cracking. It's a summary of all of my my education so far in the unit that I'm working on, that I'm working in, and yeah, I really need to get started on that because it'll all have just gone from my head, you know, absolutely disappeared. So I'm such a last minute lassie, though. So oh well, and James is doing really well actually in his course too. He's getting fab. The aqua yoga sounds wonderful. Not seen anyone here who's doing it, but your physiotherapist runs yoga class and join when you can. Yeah, oh, they're just lovely. I feel physio-led yoga would be very good, you know, because they have all of the good stuff. They have all of that anatomy knowledge behind it, but there's some stunning yoga teachers. There's this amazing one that I go to, Shelley, here in Limerick, and it's all on Zoom, which actually I love because I fall asleep for the yoga nidra and I'm at home, so I don't have to go anywhere. And she just shuts down the Zoom and I'm there like an hour later. I wake up and I'm like, what? And it's just the best sleep of my life then after that. Oh, so good. Self-care, is that it? This is self-care for me too, I have to say, guys. This is just so nice to hang out with you and really just experiment and play with colour and techniques and figuring out the best way to do things. And it's just it's fun to have a little chat too, even though I'm just probably chatting to myself. I don't know if anyone Well, there's 37 people, so you're not leaving, so that's good. Thank you very much for not leaving. Yeah. So, yeah, I love the yoga nidra bit, which is basically just sleeping. That's like a meditation, I suppose. But for me, I just end up always sleeping. It's obviously what my body needs, so I'm not going to say that's a problem or anything. Oh, did everyone see Katie had her baby? Katie, inside number 23. She had her little baby. She has another little girl, 2 little girls. Adorable. Saw that there earlier. I was there going, she can't have had the baby already. Like, she literally is just pregnant. Gee, time is going so fast, actually. There we go. Look at this. I love this. I love this. She runs restorative yoga. Restorative yoga is the best. We're all a bit broken, to be honest, aren't we? We all need a bit of restoring every so often. I have to say, most of my yoga is once a week, and I really need to do it every day, to be honest. I really do. But look, I'll get there in the end. So, we're over the hour now, but I'll just keep going until we're finished. There's actually not much left in it. We're at the orange, which means yellow is next, which means we're nearly there. You don't mind. Is there anyone have any questions? Any questions at all? Please do ask me. I've plenty of time to be answering. All I'm doing is the same thing back and forth and back and forth. So Celia says that self-care is important. This is also relaxing, just chilling with you from the whole world. I know, isn't it lovely? Like, everybody is here. What I need is some South Americans and some Africans. And unfortunately, I'm not speaking in Spanish. And I can't speak in Spanish. I can order a nice coffee and get a bedroom, I think. But that's about it. French I'm probably a bit better at, so some of France might be okay, but some of Australia or some of Africa might be all right. And Asia, do we have any Asians? Anyone from Asia on the chat? I'll take a Southeast Asian continent. Anything at all. I'm really interested. Why do you strand the yarn at an angle? Oh, that's an interesting question. So I put the yarn at an angle because if I was to pull straight across, and I'll show you what it looks like if I do that. If I pull straight across, So if I literally just go like this, I pull this across, right? And I do like that. But then when I pull in, you see the way this is pulling in at the edges? I don't want to do that. So when you are tapping down, when you're weaving, you're essentially, the yarn is going up and over, under, over, under, over, under. And when you bring it down, you need a bit more slack because it's actually bumpy. Do you see the bumpiness? So you need a bit of slack basically when it's coming down to kind of have that uptake of over, under, and not pull in the edge. Does that make sense? And especially for this piece, I don't want it tight edges and I want it lots of bumpies here because the bumpies hide the white threads. I didn't hide the white threads up here. Because it's a starry night sky, let's pretend I did that on purpose. But I only figured out that I should be leaving a bit more slack around here to kind of fill in, because this is a weft-faced fabric, which means that you mostly see the weft, which means cross over and back, over and back. And that's to do with the width of yarn as well. This is like a fingering weight yarn or 4-ply. Grab a fork to tap down the weft. I know my forks are downstairs, so I'm just using my fingers. I couldn't be arsed. I'm so lazy. But you can do that as well. But I'm just using my fingers. She's all the same. And yeah, I hope that answered your question. Hang on. Let me fix that. There we go. So again, I don't want to pull in that. I want to leave a bit more, and I'm going to just tap down. I'm just going to bring this down with me because sometimes it's a bit too much. So you see it's a really nice little bump there. It does take up a bit more yarn than you think. Gosh, I love these colors. Aren't they pretty? Oh, I love them. I love them a lot. This is so nice. Do you know what? I might actually, there's a fabulous artist in Donegal. She's a felting artist actually, and she felts with wool. And just the colours that she gets, they're so moody and rich, and I think that would look amazing on my wall. About €300 now for a painting, but I'd love to get one. I was looking at it as a, buying one for, as a, you know, as a, what's it called, memory or honeymoon memory. Now we've no money, so it's all a bit gone. It's all a bit gone. Wow, gone wrong. Good morning. How are you in Australia? Oh, there's a little random troll. Hello, random troll. Nice to see you. I feel rich and famous now that I've got a troll. How are things over your way? Yeah, how are they? How are you getting on? Do tell. Anything funny going on in your life? Anything difficult? Anything you want to share? Get off your chest, whatever you fancy. You can. This is a safe space. Although it is going to be recorded. So if you don't want me to read it out, just say private. Or not for recording, because they can't actually see what you write. They see what I say. You hear what I say. The chat doesn't get recorded. If anyone is curious about that. It is just that. Now I'm kind of a bit worried that this is kind of skewing down, like narrower on this end than this end. But am I just imagining that? I think I'm imagining it. Okay, that's fine. Do you know what? Maybe it's this yoke. Maybe it's the book. Away from me. You're going to Spain for a yarny thing or just vacation? Just a vacation. I haven't been out of Ireland in so long. Haven't been out, and I have been to England, which didn't count because it was for my course, so it was work, so it does not count. Although I spent so much money on fun things like eating out and stuff, but. Yeah, I'm just going for a vacation. I miss going to Barcelona so much. I hopefully will be going to Barcelona in November. They're doing Barcelona Knits again live. Whoop, 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 whoop. So that I think is the first weekend in first or second weekend in November. Can't remember. So hopefully I'll be going to that. But James has never been to Barcelona, and I keep wanting to take him, but also not for a yarny thing, because he'd be bored to tears. And so yeah, we're just going for ourselves, and he wants to see the Barcelona football stadium, and I want to see the Sagrada Familia, because I've never been flush enough to afford the tickets to go in. I think they're like €26 each or something, and I'm like, oh, painful. It's the same cost as the flight over. So yeah, and then we're going down to Salou, which is like a beach town, and there's actually a theme park at Fuerteventura. It's like a roller coaster park or something. But James says he doesn't want to go on it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So hopefully we can go on them. So, and hopefully we get good weather in April. But it's kind of eastern Spain, so we're less likely to get like bad weather from the sea. We'll have Mediterranean weather, so it should be good. I need to look up the average. To be honest, anything will be nicer because you'll be farther south than all the rest of it. The starry sky. What are you talking about? High and dry where I am. The storms yesterday. Oh, last weekend. There was rain. Oh no. Starry sky. Oh yeah, was it oh, crazy weather down there. My brother is in Perth. I haven't really heard from him in ages. I must give him a ring tomorrow now. He's busy out being all summery. And you know what? Maybe I won't give him a ring because I'm so jealous of the nice weather. I love this orange happening. That's nice. Okay. Do you know what would be good actually? Is if people sped up this bit. You know, you can. Did you know you can do that when you look back on it? You can actually speed up the videos to like 2 times speed, 3 times speed. And it'd be nice actually to do it on this. See this a bit faster. I don't know who'd be reading this now for 2 hours, but who'd be watching it for 2 hours. But you know, maybe it's nice. Maybe I'll do an ASMR. I need to get one of those cameras. I love a nice relaxing voice. Do a little Irish accent. ASMR situation. So glad that you go to Barcelona Knits if you want some ideas. Oh yeah, do tell me. Tell me about your cool different Barcelona things. I'm definitely going to see the yarn shops and say hi to everybody because I haven't seen them in so long. And definitely. What are your top tips for Barcelona? We're staying right on the La Rambla in the old town, in the Victorian quarter, which to be honest I love because I love sitting out and doing. I know it's super touristy, I don't care. I love it. There's some things that means that I'm on holidays when I'm able to sit out at a cafe and have a little coffee and a nice little pastry. Well, a European holiday, that is, because it's like always a little square or something. So nice. Someone said the other, I saw something the other day about like they were scared to go to Europe because of what's happening in the Ukraine. And I was like, guys, Europe's a big place. It's a very big place. Like, don't worry. And it's almost like they think that we're just one big country and you're like, come on, lads, come on. Like there's lots happening, obviously, and there's a lot of movement across, but there always has been loads of movement across Europe. Always, never not. That's part of the brilliant thing about Europe is the travel, the free travel, basically, the freedom to move wherever you want, which is so nice. But I had to laugh when I heard that. I was like, what is she talking about? She's scared to come to Europe. I was like, Ireland is Europe. France is Europe. Portugal is Europe. Like, it's grand. Come on over. Give us a hand. Oh, I just can't wait. I can't wait to go travel. See. Oh, a reminder as well, actually. So this is monetized. So if you're looking back at it, there will be some ads scattered through, which will fund, I think I'm going to give it to Revolut because they are matching donations to the Irish Red Cross. And I think they're trying to get that donation up to like 10 million or something. So... But if you compare Europe to Australia, it seems very connected. Absolutely, it's very connected. But like, if something happens in Perth, You're not going to worry about. That's like, do you remember the fires in Perth there a couple of years ago, maybe 5-10 years ago? And there's always fires in Perth. What am I talking about? But anyway, but like that's like someone worrying about going to Cairns when there's fires in Perth. You're like, you're grand. Don't worry about it. You know, it's. And, you know, Europe is very connected, and a lot of small little places, a lot of history, and a lot of stuff going on, but it's all different and it's all quite far away. You have a plan to save to go to another country in Europe. You can pop on a train and go to quite a few countries. Absolutely. Absolutely. It is lovely to do that. But, you know, yeah, definitely. But I feel like in Australia, because it's a colony, you know, it technically, I'd say, was different countries before the, you know, before it was colonized. It was different places, like, you know, I don't know the borders and, you know, because they've been kind of erased and stuff, but that's the only difference really between Europe and Australia, if you think about it. So, yeah. Same thing with America, you know, the United States of America. They were all different countries before they were colonized and decided, yep, this is all one big place now. The natives had separated it out and had wars over territories. It's classic, same as Europe. It's like, I feel like Europe is the only one that survived it. Yeah, because we were doing the colonizing, that's why. If you think about it. If over the sickness it felt like different countries. Yeah, it did, because you were all boarded off, you know, you couldn't move between states. Laura asks, will you be able to bring any plants from your garden to the new place? Yeah, we have a couple of, I have like an apple tree that I'm going to bring, and I have a little Christmas conifer in a pot that I'm going to bring. But like, to be honest, most of the plants died off anyway, so mostly we're not gonna take too much with us from the garden, probably just those 2 bits, to be honest. They're already in pots, so we'll plant them out when we move in. We can have a little ceremony. A little planting of the ceremony things. Oh, excuse me now, my shoulders. I need a little bit of a roll. Christine, absolutely right. Even now, if you follow where the different indigenous tribes are and the different languages is spoken, it's still many countries. Exactly. Loads of many countries. And honestly, sometimes Ireland feels like 32 different countries. If you go down to Kerry, it's a whole different breed. There was a Kerry woman on here. She'll get that. Or the Corkonians. Man, Cork is a different place. You know. But people seem, you know, these are all just lines and borders, but the people are the people, you know, we're all the people in the same place. And should be left alone as much as possible. Isn't that right, Putin? Isn't that right? No, he's not listening to anybody these days. What an absolute jerk face. Now, we're nearly at the end. This is the yellow, this is the dawn. God, it's gorgeous. Oh, lads, this has come out so well, hasn't it? I can't believe it. This is so pretty. And here we go. This is the start of the land. So Laura was living in West Germany during the Chernobyl disaster. Oh my God. And there was more radiation in the reindeer in northern Canada than we experienced 3 counties west. I know, it's all to do with the wind patterns with that one. That was a weird one, all right. Ireland seemed to escape it as well. It must have gone, do you know what? Didn't it go over the North Pole or something? That was it. And that's why Canada and like the North got it way worse than countries right beside it. It's the maddest thing, isn't it? Ugh. And then, funny you mentioned County Cork. Yeah, to be honest, everyone leaves Cork, so everyone has a relation that's from Cork, even though they say it's the best. No, Cork is one of the biggest counties in Ireland, so the likelihood of you having a relative from Cork is a lot higher than anywhere else in the country. So, yeah, I totally can believe that, 100%. County Cork. It's, I think it's the biggest county in Ireland. It's not the largest by population density, but by land size. Like a lot, like Dublin is obviously the biggest by population. It's actually quite a small county. It all depends on the way the wind blows. You're right. You're absolutely right. Oh, excuse me. I'm burping again. I had a whole thing of Pringles after dinner as well. I'd love an ice cream now. I need to go to sleep. I need to sort myself out. Now, I need to figure out what I need to do. It's Monday, so what else business-wise do I need to do? I wrote them down in my diary, and my diary's downstairs. That's no good to me, is it? No good to me at all. I've got loads of little diaries. I need just one and decide, and then that's it. March is paperwork month. That's what it is. It's looking gorgeous, isn't it, Christine? Yeah, March is my paperwork month. We're gonna get the house sorted. I'm gonna do all of my essays. Everything's gonna be great. Are they the relative you invite to liven up the party if you think it might be a bit dull? They're the relative that you might ask if you want them to talk about themselves nonstop for 6 hours straight. That's who Cork people are. No, I've got loads of cousins in Cork. They're lovely. They're just people. The colours are... I know! Isn't it beautiful to watch something like this? I cannot believe how beautiful this is turning out. And you know what? That ground actually is coming in quite quick, which is good. That's what I wanted, because I wanted it to be... Hang on now, I might just pull that away there. I don't know. Where does Jeremy Irons live? I can't remember. There's a huge amount of Americans in Cork as well. They go out to West Cork to God knows what they do out there. A lot of the kind of famine-stricken kind of rural counties have been abandoned. So a lot of Americans buy cheap land out there to like live in their roots. And so the place barely has any Irish people. It's all English and Americans. So I don't even know if you can count it as Cork. Big fans of the old West, the Americans and the English. And County Clare as well. West Clare is English, and I think West Cork is American. This is gas. I'm loving this. It is so pretty. It's so pretty. Now, I remember there was a Jersey Island is out in Cork, right? And you have to get there by cable car. And there was an American lady that was coming across on the cable car, and she was saying my great-great-grandmother or something came from Jersey Island during the famine. And there's about 17 people living on it now. And there's no jobs or anything. People just, think they mainly just host like Airbnbs and stuff. But I would love to go there for a week and literally just, because there's nothing there, absolutely nothing there. There's nothing. There's no shop. You have to bring everything with you. But she was like looking into windows, the American lady, and she was like trying to figure out which one was the house that her great grandmother lived in or something. And I was like, how are you gonna know? There's actually loads of houses on this island that have been abandoned. Very interesting. Cork Light. Oh, I don't know what they are. They're their own little nation. Cork wants to be their own nation anyway, People's Republic of Cork, so they don't want to be classed as Ireland at all. They're just Cork themselves. Now I've got a Cork accent. They don't want to be at all. They're kind of like the Texas of Ireland, I feel like, Cork. You know, they're very independent, a little bit wild. Escape for a week. I know, doesn't it? Does anyone remember when I went and I rented an Airbnb in a cottage? I was only in Limerick, but it was the best week. It was the most creative week of my entire life. It was so nice. Yes, like Western Australia. Yeah. Actually, incredibly like Western Australia. Less isolated, but you've come to a very strong feeling there, and that's exactly what it is. Like the Denmark of... Denmark's a place in Western Australia, in case anyone doesn't know. Maybe Tassie, but like Tassie's just its own little blip on the universe, isn't it? It's just like, hello, you're just hanging out down here. Never mind us. I'm grand. There we go. I just needed a bit more space. Ah, snap. Sure, Tassie had a load of Cork men down there, didn't they? They had a load of every Irishman. The whole damn lot of them, all of them, basically took them all. An entire generation is right down in Tassie. I really enjoyed Tassie. That might have been my favourite place in Australia, actually. Loved it. But I think it was also like the season. It was summertime and there was loads to do. Like we went out looking at birds and loads of wildlife, and the country, like it's loads of mountains and stuff, and it's just so nice. Even though super quiet, everything closed at like 4:00. Nothing open, nothing. I mean, barely even restaurants. I was like, what is going on here? It's real dead. Real dead down there. Yeah, this is why I didn't do that. That's why I wasn't doing that. I remember now. Because they don't stay in the right place. It's not a rigid heddle, Grace. Remember. Like, I miss my rigid heddle. It's much easier. There we go. Nearly done. Nearly there. Hour and a half later. Oh, I need to go to the toilet in a minute. Tassie's beautiful. Oh, it's stunning. My brother actually, they wanted to have their honeymoon there, but because of COVID, it's been cancelled 4 times. Oh, it's so unfair. And like, she's a teacher, so anytime they want to go anywhere, it's like really difficult because the flights are so expensive because it's in the middle of school holidays. Oh, it's a disaster. She's in Perth, like, so it's Australia's school holidays. And they want to try again, and But it's such a beautiful place, and I absolutely loved it when I was there. It's just so annoying when it's just difficult to get to as well. But I have to recommend, like, I think I'd go for a month again. I would actually. I also need to see the Red Centre. I didn't see the Red Centre when I was in Australia, which is kind of annoying. Oh, my tummy. Little bit of a cramp. Maybe my period or something. Beep. You know those ones, those cramps. Oh, but I'm so close. So close. Look how close I am. This is the last, second to last pick, maybe. Whoop. Oh my God, guys, we did it. We did it. Nearly. One more. I'll go one more. Just for the crack. What, lads? Did you all stay till the end? I have to come back. I do have to come back. I really do want to. And we will get back there eventually. Ugh. Are you all here to the end? Amazing. I didn't go to the wave. No. It was a bit too far away. It takes like days to drive there, doesn't it? My brother's been to the wave now. He has. But I have not. Do you know what? I'll just do one more and then that's it. Stunning. We went down to Denmark and we went to do the trees, you know, what are they called? The shivering trees or the singing trees or the tingle trees. That's it, tingle trees. And that was beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And we went to see the whalers down in, there's a place beginning with A, right down the bottom where the North Sea meets, where the Indian Ocean meets the Southern Ocean. I can't think of the name at all. It's gone to God. Sorry. That's it. Shinny! Finished! Now, I just need to turn it around now and show you what that looks like. Oh, look, it's the sun! Little sunrise. That's our Rolags. Can you believe it? I cannot. So that is as much weaving. And now I could have gotten a lot more on that, but I was tamping down quite tight. So this amount I probably am going to tap that down, but you can adjust that later. Rottenness. Yeah, I never got out there. We wanted to get out there, but I think it was Christmas or something when we went. And we just, I don't know, it didn't work out. Rottenness, yeah. Again, my brother wanted to get out there. And he did. But it just didn't work out when we were there. But I'll be down to visit him again and we'll head out to Rottenness. Now, I do like that a little better, actually. Ooh, that's nice. Isn't that cool? Thank you. I think it's real damn cool. So I'm just going to leave it on this for a minute. And I want to get a dowel from and I think I'll just loop through the dowels here and hang it. And then I'll use the rest down here as I might do a little macrame edge at the bottom, which I think would be nice. But because I hadn't washed this, it'll be interesting to see how it comes off. I probably will end up, I don't know, we'll see. But I want to leave it and let it set like this for a while and see where we go from there. Lads, thank you so much for coming along on this journey. If you've any hints or ideas or things that you'd like to see in the future on these lives, do let me know. We could do loads of different things, to be honest. So, but that was a really fun little experiment and it worked out really well. I'm delighted with it. Isn't it gorgeous? So happy Sunday. I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. And I have a podcast that I filmed on Friday that I do want to release. So you can look forward to that, and that'll be pretty soon. I just need to do up a thing for it and publish it. So I'll just switch it around and say goodbye. Hello and goodbye. And yeah, so I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. Is this backwards? It feels very up against my neck. But yeah, so this is the size of it. And I think it's so pretty. I kind of wish that yellow hadn't spread so much into the brown, but that's fine too. But if you have a little look at the texture of it, it's so lovely. I'm kind of obsessed with it. That is lovely. I think it would be nice as well to do like little felted things if I was good at felting, which I'm not. But even the back, very similar. There's no real difference there, front or back. So it doesn't really matter which way I hang it. So that'll be really real sweet. And yeah, sure, look, I'll talk to you. I might be back next Sunday if I think of something. If you think of something that you'd be interested in seeing, I might put up a little question box on Instagram. Oh my God, Christine, thank you. Oh, you're very kind. Christine's just given me $2 there. Thank you. I forgot you could do that actually. Yeah, you can if you like, but no pressure. No pressure at all. But thank you so much, Christine. That's lovely. Do you know what it really reminds me of? Like the sunsets in Perth. Now that I'm thinking about it. Sunsets anywhere really. Right. Or sunrises. Either or. Sunrises, that's what we were talking about, weren't we? I just love this pinky orange section in here. Oh, Christine, did you send me another bit? Didn't you send me already? Stop, would you stop? Sorry. Oh no, maybe it was two different people. Hang on 2 seconds. I don't know if I can see who did that now. Oh, hang on. Yeah, it was you, Christine. Would you send me a little black cat picture? Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Very sweet. Yes, so all of that will be going to the Red Cross. The truck that I was collecting for actually left the other day, so that'll be on the border by Monday. So that's amazing. I donated €150 and my friend Camilla went out and bought kind of the more difficult things to get, which are like flashlights and stuff. So and battery packs and things. But then the whole thing went really viral and she got loads. She got like onto the national news and everything. So I'm so delighted for her. So thank you everybody who has watched over the past couple of weeks. And you helped out with that, so thank you so much, because I can't really give too much myself at the moment because we're a tiny bit short of stuff because of the house and all the rest of it. But sure, look, 'twas all the least I could do, and that money as well, Christine, will be going to them too, so thank you so much. But again, you don't have to give money. You don't have to do any of those live kind of chat donations or anything like that. You can literally just watch the ads. That's it. So thank you so much. And I will talk to you later. Oh, yeah, I also used January's money for the thing, and then I put February's money towards an Airbnb. That's what I did in one of the kind of worst hit towns. So yeah, I'll keep giving as long as I keep getting. So thank you. Okay, now I'm going to see you. My God, 104 minutes. Lads, I love you lots. Why did you stay? I'll see you next week. Bye.